Now, opening a soda can might give you a messy, nasty surprise if you haven't been careful while handling it. Instead of jamming the tab inside right away and experiencing that sweet rush of carbonated cascade, push it slightly first until you hear the characteristic psst sound. It'll let you know the excess CO2 has been let out. Then turn the tab 180 degrees and pull it forward and up. The thin aluminum will tear, and all you'll have to do is put a straw into the hole and enjoy your drink. By the way, it's also more hygienic. Instead of pushing the metal inside the can, you'll pull it up. Now, if you have a pet, or if you're just the hairy type, you know the nuisance of getting rid of the hair left on your clothes after you wash them in the washing machine. Next time, pull out some wet wipes and put them in the drum before the washing. They'll move around in the process and take the hairs and fluff upon themselves. 3 wipes are more than enough. There are some rules to follow, though. Don't choose scented wet wipes, as your clothes will likely absorb the smell. If you don't have any other choice, add some fabric softener, which will neutralize the scent. Also, the wet wipe should be sturdy enough not to tear inside the washing machine, or you'll just have another problem on your hands. And finally, it's no use putting the same wet wipes in the washing machine twice. They'll lose their properties after the first time. Want to enjoy a treat of ice cream, but once you take it out of the freezer, it's as hard as a rock, so you have to wait for it to warm up a bit? You know this trouble. So, to avoid that, put your ice cream container into a Ziploc bag, pull out all the air from it, and close it tightly before putting the container into the freezer. This way, you'll prevent freezer burn, and your ice cream will stay soft and ready to indulge you anytime. By the way, you'll also get rid of that musty freezer smell, which is nice too. Freezer burn happens when cold air touches the food, making it rock hard. By covering the ice cream container with a Ziploc layer, you remove the air and the issue is solved. If your treat is still too hard for your liking, though, dunk your water scoop in hot water for a second. This time, scooping should be a piece of cake, even though you're using ice cream. Cupcakes are delicious and all, but the biggest disappointment in them is that the tastiest part, the frosting of course, is only at the top. Not only you have to choose whether to eat it first or leave it for later, you might often get your nose all creamed up while enjoying your treat. So to avoid this tough choice, take the cupcake out of its wrapper, break off the bottom of the pastry, put it on top of the frosting, making it into a sandwich of sorts. This way, you'll be able to have your frosting in every bite. If you're not into folding your clothes, try rolling them up instead. Rolling up your t-shirts, pants, pajamas, and casual clothes will save a lot of space in your suitcase or wardrobe and also protect them from creases you often get while folding them. So when you take out a t-shirt, you won't even have to iron or steam it before washing. The only disadvantage here is that you can't use this method with formal clothes like shirts or suits and sizable stuff like sweaters. The formal stuff will get all wrinkly, and the sweaters will just take even more space than when you fold them. Instead of cutting a watermelon into slices and getting yourself all sticky with its juice, cut it crosswise, making watermelon sticks. Or if you're sharing it with just one other person, cut it in half and eat yours with a spoon. To save some for later, wrap the leftovers in some plastic wrap and put them in the freezer. It's also a good way to prepare some watermelon-tasting ice cubes for refreshing drinks. Speaking of which, iced coffee is a nice way to start your day when it's too hot outside for the conventional type. But regular ice cubes dilute your drink, so prepare some coffee ones in advance not to lose a single bit of taste. Just pour some coffee into the ice tray and put it into the freezer. Or you can do the same with milk or cream to make your coffee lighter. Your kitchen sponge can serve as a makeshift ice pack. Just soak it in water and put it into a watertight plastic bag without squeezing. Make sure the bag clings well to the sponge and no water is collecting inside. Then put the sponge into the freezer for some time. Once it freezes, the sponge will stay like that for a long time. Silica gel is great at absorbing moisture and odors. That's exactly why small bags of it are put into boxes with shoes. Don't throw them away. You can reuse them to dry your shoes if you got them wet while wearing, and also to keep the smell of sweat at bay for longer. Now, instead of throwing your new clothes into the washing machine for the first time and hoping for the best, pay attention to that piece of fabric that usually comes with a purchase. You didn't throw it away immediately, did you? Of course you didn't. Put it inside the washing machine and run the cycle recommended by the manufacturer with some other clothes. When you take the piece out, you'll see if it's spoiled or not. It's way better than risking your new garment. Note that little loop on the back of your shirt next time you take it into your hands. If you don't have a hanger to put it on while not wearing, this loop will come in handy to place the shirt on some hook without ruining the collar. Sunglasses aren't only for hot summer days. They're useful in the winter as well. When there's a lot of snow around and the sun is shining, it reflects from the snow, making it even harder on the eyes than in summer. In fact, sunglasses were originally invented exactly for the purpose of protecting the eyes from this powerful winter light reflection. If you tear off part of the sugar stick packet to pour it into your coffee, you're likely to get the sugar anywhere but inside the cup where it belongs. Take the stick with both hands instead and press your thumbs into the center over the cup. The packet will break in half, and the sugar will pour exactly where it should, right up to the last sweet crystal. Holding a cool bottle of soda on a hot summer day feels good, but it's even better when the cool drink gets inside you, right? To keep it from warming up too quickly, hold the bottle on that long neck. It will absorb the heat from your hand and won't let the contents of the bottle do it instead. Now, kitchen scissors often have a serrated opening between the handles, which comes in handy when you need to destem herbs like thyme or rosemary. No need to pick the leaves by hand anymore. Also, you can do it as a bottle opener, although that's a bit harder to do. To stop the juice in a carton from glugging when you pour it into a glass, turn it the other way around. The opening should be away from the glass. Or, if you're sure you won't have to put the carton back in the fridge after opening it, make a small hole on the other end of the carton's top. The glugging happens because of the air trapped inside the carton by the pouring juice. So, you eliminate the issue by letting it out through an extra hole. If you accidentally crumpled an important document, put it in the printer, open an empty doc on your computer, type a dot in white font, and send the doc to print. When the paper goes through the printer, it will become perfectly smooth and free of any creases again.